A pleasant good afternoon to each and every one of you in Georgetown, Guyana. Friends all, I want you to listen and listen carefully, and whatever you might be thinking, you have a right to your opinion, as much as I am. So I'm kindly asking you before I continue for you to subscribe to my channel and press the bell so you will have the next update. My reason for this is not that I love to sit in front of a camera and to say things that does not make sense to you. I am grateful for the technology that today we could sit any part of the world, make a video, and in a second others can receive it. Now, I am not here for you to like me or not to like me. I'm not here to ask you for a penny nor a grain of rice. But I have lived in Guyana for many of years. I born there. I remember the days of uncle and auntie, Mr. and mistress, brothers and sisters of the two major races. Until come the two diseases, the Burnham disease and the Jagans disease. Friends, it is very heartening to see a nation like Guyana with two of the majority races, the East Indian descendant and African descendant, who I'm a part of, by the way. One is claiming emancipation but not going back home. And the other one is claiming day of arrival, but maybe lost the passport or the visa, who knows. I urge you all to stop it. You were born in Guyana, accept the country. Now, for all Christians, Muslims, I don't know much of the Ramadan or the Vedas, but I think it is there too. There is a passage, thou shalt not covet thy brother's property. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy brother. And it continued in the 10th commandment. I want to know which ministers in parliament from past to present follow that teaching. This is the month of Ramadan for the Muslims. And it's also the month of a crucifixion of an innocent man that was murdered because of his teaching for humanity and the pathway to God. We must understand clearly that we all will one day disappear from this earth and the new generation will take it over. What are the legacy? You told me about Pharaoh. You told me about Caesar, Napoleon, Gandhi, and many, many, many more great leaders, as you call them, or great soul. Then you told me about Krishna, Sita, Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman. And you told me about Prophet Muhammad and your uncle Ali or whoever. And many other things. But you are not speaking about yourself and the country from which you're living in. You could go to the church. You could pick up a Bible, a Quran, and a Ramayana, sing, prayer, but when you come out, you do the same thing. It's better you don't go. No priest supposes to support corrupt government or any group of people who are doing wrong to another. I always say the two most destructive races in Guyana to deal with is the African descendant and the Indian. Now bear in mind, amongst the two there's good and bad amongst all of us. But to me, you could more trust many black people in Guyana than trust your own Indian brother or brother-in-law or sister-in-law. I have lived in Guyana for many years. I have looked into the black family. When they marry, they live so nice, so happy. I never lived to hear a black woman marry into a family divide a family. But I live to hear and see and witness it in my own family. It happened. And many other Indian homes. I never lived to see a black woman go to an Obia man, a voodoo man, or someone to open books about their husband or their husband's family. But I live to see the East Indian race do it. Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me, there is a God. I can tell you what to do, but not to do wrong things. Spiritually, I'm born with this gift. I can tell you things. In Guyana, we had never had a great and good leaders who concerned about the country. Because we turned back, we killed some, we put fear in some, they got to run to Canada, America, and elsewhere. You, the black race in Guyana, out of Africa, Ghana, you should count your lucky star, kneel down, and thank God that your ancestor entered the shore of Guyana and the Caribbean and elsewhere. For your brothers and sisters and relatives back home in Accra, they are not as lucky as you. You have all the opportunity, but instead of turning to do good, you turn it to do bad. You let corrupt politicians turn you into racism. Fighting one another for what? Same goes to the Indian. You listen to the corrupt politician, the bandits, and maybe the imam and some priests who support corrupt political people, all because of needs. When the politician tell you they will give you a road, it's not their own, it's the money from taxpayer and the resources of the country, from which you put them to lead. They utilize it to build what they say they will build, because it's not for you alone, it's for them too. But they are not giving you anything, they have a job to do and they have to do it. We must have an independent body to look at the two political parties, friends and family. When you have an election coming in Guyana, the election commissioner will make the decision about the day of election, your registration and everything, and must not take side. But as I can recall, and I want my black brothers and sisters to know, Burnham had never won an election in Guyana. It was a coalition government put him in office for the 1966. Make it give dependence, as you call independence. Burnham had 18 seats, PNC. UF had 7. PPP had 22. And the coalition government that saved Guyana. If not, America would not have rested how long Cherry was pushing his communist agenda. He was given an opportunity, meaning that his wife was an American. But I want you all to know, Burnham and Jagans was not enemy. It was a plan to keep other political groups out. You, the black race, attacked the DIH truck that the guy was a part of, his company, that employ a lot of blacks more than Indian. You mash up his trucks on the East Coast, on the West Coast, because of Dr. Jagans. And you and Mr. Burnham, and you Indian do the same. What did Burnham and Jagans give for your legacy? His granddaughter is in Queens. She's a big-time lawyer for immigration. I have a story to release about her. I respect her father, Joey. I spoke to her already, and she seemed to be on high horses and feels she's very powerful. I do not want to go off of the woman license because I have the proof. Sometimes God put us in a position for we to expose the truth. The grandchildren of the demon Dr. Jagans, after y'all come to this country illegally or on visa and want to stay, and you get married or not, And you have a way you could get your visa to stay and be a slave to work and make a living and take care of your family. You visit she and many more, they use it against you. If you did not support the PPP and Burnham, this would have never happened. Guyana is a paradise to compare with many countries I have went to. But for such a small population, 200-something thousand East Indian descendants, I will give 160,000 devious, treacherous, and wicked, but because they are in the country. Many do not know to read and write. And they listen to the pandit and the imam and the priest. And of course, at the time of Guyana politics, the same time the story of Mr. Gandhi of India. An Indian leave India but still walk with it. And I understand that. The blacks leave Africa but never remember it. They accept the name of the Englishman. James, Thomas, Marjorie, Burnett, Darius, while we ancestrally of the Indian side came with Partab, Gangadin, Aladdin, sing and dance the song and don't know the meaning. Contrast to a country want to develop. Dr. Jagans take Burnham into India, and it was stated that some pandit told Burnham when Nehru told Jagans about Apanjat that he walked with a snake and something about Apanjat, the black people use it like if it was a racial slur against the black man. No, friend. The language Apanjat, if the pandit them know the meaning, it means a nation for a nation or a people for a people, according to my information from a Swami in India. But then India have 50 or 60 different dialect and languages between them. It is plain and simple for you all to understand that life takes many stages. And what happened during the European time, coming into Guyana or the Caribbean, it was not a mistake, but it was what had to be. You say that God knows everything and what He wants, is that what happened? How do you know that that's not the way that it had to be, that you had to be in Guyana from Africa, and the Chinese from China, and the Portuguese from Portugal, and the East Indian from India? But you all meet a nation there called the indigenous people. We make jokes and call them Buckman and Buckwoman. But both of you who talk about rights have exploited their resources and exploited them. Then when you put the black man into power, 28 years, only Desmond Haight was good. He tried, but the racism was too much. My black friends' family are saying they installed government. Friends, Burnham have never won an election, the coalition put him in, and every other election in his time of alive, he rigged them. The GDF used to fetch the ballot. The police and other thugs was there to help. I asked this question: why when a third and a fourth and a fifth political party come up, they got problem with the two major parties? If y'all are sincere and decent, why are you having your supporter to break up the meeting, break up the vehicle, fight with them? Right there to show that y'all are worse than cannibal, tigers and lions. Because y'all are covetous, corrupt, and wicked. I will not talk about the past with the commissioners. Ask Dr. Suraj Bali and Vincent Alexander is alleged, and Mr. Boudou and others, with one decent man said, I am an independent, when Anthony Snow filed his documents and carry all the signatures. Some was in the car of some of your election commissioner. If there is a God, may their children suffer for denying the rights of a nation on a democratic vote. First, I have to congratulate the U.S. Ambassador, Mrs. Lynch, for letting it be known that Guyana with the American citizens must be careful. But I urge APNU supporters, do not make a mistake with the citizens of America, because y'all will not like the outcome. And I want y'all also to know all life matters, not only black people's life. Okay? I am saying this clear. We want a government for all the people. A lot of things that Mr. Ali is doing, as I said, a young man is trying to compare with the rest. I want him to straighten the court. I want him to change the faces of the military and the police force by mixing it up. And be careful with the guards that bodyguard him and those who guard his house and his family. I want him to save himself and be careful who hand he shakes, because a lot of chemical is around. And I do hope that he's doing the right thing. Put the police from Georgetown into McKenzie, McKenzie one into the West Coast police into Berbice, and the Berbice one into Essecubo, the Essecubo one also into the East Bank. So you change them around so there will be no curry favor, bribe and corruption. And move the magistrates and judges around. You have a lot of great magistrates and judges, decent and honorable. But because of a telephone call from a corrupt businessman who knows a corrupt minister, a judge have to take a call and stifle justice and deny a man or a woman justice because of the party affiliation or the religion or who really don't like that person. Guyana will and should produce a leader soon. Remember this, America gets what America wants. The Shah, Saddam, many, Perez of Venezuela, and many more, Ortega of Nicaragua, and the pine-faced man, Noriega of Panama. They were all servants. Think of it. When you start to act funny, America moves you. So I call upon the U.S. government to do what is right for Guyana, and let's get a national front government and open the country to everyone, and let America take the present there. Thank you.